So the New York Attorney General, a woman by the name of Letitia James. I think we have a picture of her. I believe I was able to, if I can. Where is this one? Right here. My goodness, Letitia James. Woo-wee. Letitia, she has come out and she has now said, I mean, this woman wants to be governor. This woman wants to be governor of New York. She has now come out and said Andrew Cuomo is guilty of sexual harassment. He has touched women without consent. He needs to go and all this stuff. And all these Democrats are now saying, Chuck Schumer and AOC and all these people are now coming out and saying Andrew Cuomo should resign. I don't think he should resign. And I'm not saying that because I like him. I'm not a fan of, I'm not a fan of Andrew. In fact, I think that all you so-called conservatives out there, I'm not a conservative, I'm independent, but all you so-called conservatives out there should hope and pray that these liberals don't throw out Andrew. Because these guys, they want his job. And if you think he is bad, I mean, if you think that Andrew's bad, imagine having AOC as governor. Imagine Chuck Schumer as governor. Imagine Letitia. My goodness gracious, New York, it would be over. It would be finished. It'd be destroyed. I mean, look at the chaos that's happened in Chicago. I mean, all these places. I mean, and I know a lot of you guys will say, well, you know, Letitia James, she's a black woman. Don't you want a black woman as governor? No, actually, to be honest with you, when I see black people running for politics, I'm even more afraid. Because, I mean, look at all these black mayors of all these big cities, Atlanta, Newark, Chicago, even some of the former, and look at what they've done to the cities. They've just gotten worse. I mean, Obama did nothing. But anyway, so these guys just want his job. They just want his job. So here is what I see. If Andrew Cuomo doesn't resign, then he has to run. He has to be reelected as governor. He has to run for reelection. And if he loses, then it's fine. He's gone. But if he wins, that's the end of the Me Too movement. That's the end of it. It will have no more legitimacy. Let anybody who comes up to you talking about women should be believed, you just laugh in their face. Well, look at Andrew. Look at what those liberals out there in New York, they reelect him. Don't mean a damn, women, Me Too don't mean a damn thing. As long as you got a D behind your name, Democrat, you're a liberal, they don't care. You could rape a woman upside down and hang her dead body in your closet. Nobody would care. As long as you're a Democrat, as long as you're a liberal politician, that's it. As long as you are Andrew Cuomo or Bill Clinton or whoever, the law doesn't apply to you. It doesn't. That's that. And most reasonable. There are still a majority of Americans are still reasonable-minded people. They won't fall for it. Me Too will fall down the toilet, and it already is sort of halfway down in the toilet because of. Look how long they keeping him there. But all these Democrats here who want Andrew to resign, they just want his job. Now, if he resigns and some other person takes over, then they can say, "Oh well, looky here, blah blah blah." No, they don't care about women. So let's keep Andrew, keep him there, keep him. Andrew, don't resign. Stay right where you are. Be comfortable. Don't go anywhere. No, I don't want him to go. I'm living. I don't want him to go anywhere. Stay right where you are. And let's expose, because I'll tell you something. I think the people of New York would vote for him if he was running for re-election. I think they would. So let's expose the Democrats for the hypocrites. Look at Edward Kennedy. Look at Bill Clinton. Look at Andrew Cuomo. Look at all these people who have done women wrong and they were still given a chance by their Democrat liberal constituents. Leave him there and let's continue to expose the hypocrisy of the left. So with that being said, we'll leave him there. And if he loses, then he loses. No problem. But leave him there. And if he loses, then he'll get arrested. And if he wins, he may even still get arrested. But let's just hold our horses here. And I want to actually. Here's what I want to do. I want to. I know Cuomo made a video. He made a video about his response to the independent reviewer report. Let's see if we can review this here. I mean, everybody's been talking about this video. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it, but apparently it's ridiculous. So let's review it together, okay? Mr. Engineer, please.
Over the past several months, you have heard a number of complaints brought against me. I called for an independent review, and I said at the beginning I would let the process unfold. I didn't want anyone to say that I interfered. I said I would hold my tongue, and I have, making only limited comments. It has been a hard and a painful period for me and my family, especially as others feed ugly stories to the press.
If I can just pause for a second, there's two things that I find irritating about this. Number one, Cuomo is the same guy who said that all women should be believed when Brett Kavanaugh was being nominated to the US Supreme Court. And he said that just disregarding their complaints and not believing their complaints was sexist and all this stuff. So now that the shoe is on the other foot, it's like, what happened to that? And number two, it's kind of sad that, I mean, look, this whole nursing home scandal that people have been talking about, where Cuomo allegedly put elderly people who had the coronavirus, or as I call it, the Chinese virus, in the nursing home with other people, and they died, and he covered it up. Well, the reason I haven't really talked about that is because I view the virus as I don't view it as anything special. I don't view it as anything special whatsoever. It's a virus that kills less than 1% of people who get it, including old people. So I don't. But what I am upset about is the fact that this hypocrite Cuomo, he thinks it's no big deal to bring COVID positive people into the same nursing home as other people. And he's supposed to say that he takes this virus seriously enough to lock down businesses and force people into masks and all this stuff, which is barely happening anymore in New York. But nevertheless, these guys don't take this virus seriously. But it's so shameful that this is the thing that he's being jacked up about. Not this whole nursing home scandal. It's this sexual assault. I still say, don't go anywhere, Cuomo. Don't go anywhere. You fall on your own sword. So, Ms. Engineer, if we can go back to sharing this.
But I cooperated with the review, and I can now finally share the truth. My attorney, who is a non-political former federal prosecutor, has done a response to each allegation. And the facts are much different than what has been portrayed. That document is available on my website. If you are interested, please take the time to read the facts and decide for yourself.
First, wait a minute, though. Well, why would we read something from your attorney? Your attorney works for you, boy. What is it with this Cuomo boy? Well, what is it with this Cuomo boy? I mean, there's something wrong with this boy here. I don't know. Why would I trust something that your attorney says? I mean, he works for you. You pay him. I mean, but it's true. Anyway, let's go on with this boy, Cuomo. Don't resign, Cuomo.
I want you to know directly from me that I never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances.
Well, let's pause here now. The law states that if you touch someone and they deem it inappropriate, then it's inappropriate. So You can't say that. You can't say that. It's true. You can't say that's the law here. That's the law. If you touch someone and they don't want you to touch them, or if they feel that the touch was inappropriate, then it is. That's just the law, boy. You're supposed to be governor of New York. Boy, what's wrong with you? I mean, it's clear you touch people and there's pictures. And if they think it's inappropriate, then it is. So you can't say that. You can't. Ms. Andrea, let's continue.
I am 63 years old. I've lived my entire adult life in public view. That is just not who I am. And that's not who I have ever been.
Let me just pause right there again. Because, I mean, are you supposed to say, am I supposed to believe that because you're 63 years old and you live in the public eye that you're incapable of doing that? Let me tell you something, and this may offend a lot of people. You being 63 years old is make me feel like more likely that you would do something like this. The fact that you're 63 years old, your wife left you, that Kennedy girl, whoever you were, what's her name? That you were married to a Kennedy, and she left you, and you 63 years old, you are, honestly, I feel you're more likely to touch people inappropriately than if you were 21 years old with a, as Romney would say, binders full of women. So let's continue here with Cuomo.
There is one complaint that has been made that bothered me most. That was a complaint made by a young woman, Charlotte Bennett, who worked in my office. And it's important to me that you fully understand the situation. Charlotte worked in my office last year as an assistant. She was smart, talented, and eager to learn. She identified herself to me as a survivor of sexual assault. She said that she came to work in my administration because of all the progress we had made in fighting sexual assault. She talked about the personal trauma that she endured and how she was handling it. I could see how it had affected her. I could see her pain. People now ask me, why was I even talking to this young woman if I knew she was dealing with such issues? Why did I even engage with her? That is the obvious and fair question, and one I have thought a lot about.
Can I just say this? If there was no Me Too movement, if there was none of all this foolishness that the left is now doing, what they did to Trump, what they did to Brett Kavanaugh, so unfair. What the amount of viciousness that they did to Brett Kavanaugh when he was being nominated to the Supreme Court, the nastiness they put him through, and his wife put him on Saturday Night Live, humiliating him. I mean, not wanting to listen to anything he had to say. And it's clear they did it because it was political. I don't see anything different between Brett Kavanaugh and Andrew Cuomo. In fact, it's worse. You've got 11 people accusing Cuomo of touching them inappropriately. And in many cases, they've got pictures. And if they view, and look, the law says if you touch someone and they think it's inappropriate, then it is. And if these guys have pictures of you touching them and they say they didn't like it, then you did touch them inappropriate. There were no pictures with Brett Kavanaugh. There was only one woman. I mean, if they hadn't done that to Brett Kavanaugh, if they hadn't done that to Donald Trump, if they hadn't done that to many people on the conservative side, I'd probably be supporting Cuomo. I probably would be in this case. I certainly would be saying it's so strange how he could be jacked up for something like this and not the nursing home scandal. And I still say that. But you know something? I think this is God. I actually think this is God. You know, I think God has damned Andrew Cuomo. God has damned him. And he's going to damn Biden as well. He's damning Andrew. This is God's work. And I say, Cuomo, don't resign. Don't resign. You stay right where you are, boy. You stay right where you are and run for re-election in whenever the next election in New York is, and I won't be voting for you, but I know the New York people will vote. They'll vote for the people in New York will vote for Cuomo. They got all that. They'll vote for him. Ain't no Republican ever gotten back in the governor's mansion again in New York. They'll vote for him with his woman touching self, and it'll expose the left as a bunch of hypocrites, and Me Too will go down the drain. Don't resign. I say don't. You stay right where you are. And if you lose, then you lose. Okay. But if you win, at least we'd have gotten rid of that hypocritical Me Too movement, which destroyed so many people. And it's done good things too. I mean, Harvey Weinstein, there was proof. I mean, there was recordings, but we'll finally go back to the days of not just believing all women, but letting the investigation take its course. Stop just tearing down men just because of what a woman says. I think Cuomo not resigning would do good. Whether he wins or not, he'd win. Listen, if Cuomo resigns, you're not going to get a Republican governor in New York. No. All these Giuliani, Zeldin, whoever else is running on the Republican, they're just wasting their time. Ain't no Republican ever getting into the governor's mansion in New York State. It's going to probably take another 10, 20 years of liberal abuse before these, and you got to blame the black folk, before these nappy-head black folk down there. And I say that, yes, because, these black folk, you guys continuously going to the Democrats, 90% of you going to the Democrats, is a disgrace. And you guys haven't gotten better, you've gotten worse. That's why I call you that. That's why I said that, what I just said. But there's all them black folk down there. You think they're gonna vote for Zeldin? You think they're gonna vote for Giuliani? You think Cuomo is, just forget it. There ain't no Republican ever being elected in New York as governor for the next 20, 30 years. It's going to take another decade, maybe 2 decades of abuse, of mismanagement, of corruption, of scandals before the Democrats and the people of New York finally decide, we've had enough. Let's try something else. So I don't call for, let him stay there. Let him stay there. And let him do some good by exposing the hypocrisy on the left and getting rid of Me Too. Let's continue with this Cuomo boy here.
The truth is that her story resonated deeply with me. I had heard the same story before, with the same ugliness, the same injustice, the same damage. Not only had I heard the story before, I had lived with the story before. My own family member is a survivor of sexual assault in high school. I have watched her live and suffer with the trauma. I would do anything to make it go away for her, but it never really goes away. I spent countless days and nights working through these issues with her and therapists and counselors. I'm governor of the state of New York, but I felt powerless to help and felt that I had failed her. I couldn't take the pain away. I still can't. And this young woman brought it all back. She's about the same age. I thought I had learned a lot about the issue from my family's experience. I thought I could help her work through a difficult time. I did ask her questions I don't normally ask people. I did ask her how she was doing and how she was feeling. And I did ask questions to try to see if she had positive, supportive dating relationships. I know too well the manifestations of sexual assault trauma and the damage that it can do in the aftermath. I was trying to make sure she was working her way through it the best she could. I thought I had learned enough and had enough personal experience to help her, but I was wrong. I have heard Charlotte and her lawyer, and I understand what they are saying. But they read into comments that I made and draw inferences that I never meant. They ascribe motives I never had. And simply put, they heard things that I just didn't say. Charlotte, I want you to know that I am truly and deeply sorry. I brought my personal experience into the workplace, and I shouldn't have done that. I was trying to help. Obviously, I didn't. I am even more sorry that I further complicated the situation. My goal was the exact opposite. I wish nothing but good for you and for all survivors of sexual assault. There is another complaint I want to address from a woman in my office who said that I groped her in my home office. Let me be clear, that never happened. She wants anonymity, and I respect that. So I am limited but what I can say. But her lawyer has suggested that she will file a legal claim for damages. That will be decided in a court of law. Trial by newspaper or biased reviews are not the way to find the facts in this matter.
Well,
I welcome the opportunity.
Again, when Brett Kavanaugh was being scrutinized to be nominated for Supreme Court, you were saying, no, gotta believe the woman. Gotta believe Christine Blasey Ford. We gotta believe her. Don't give a damn what the process says. We gotta believe her. He's not fit to be a Supreme Court justice. If it was up to you, Kavanaugh wouldn't be in the Supreme Court today. Cuomo, he'd be under a bridge somewhere, shining shoes. So now you're saying let the process do its work. No, you're guilty. I believe all 11 women. I believe them. Nothing you say is going to convince me. I don't care about no judge or jury or no. Hey, I'm talking like you. Believe all women. And I say you stay there as governor and let's see if the people of New York also believe all women. And if they don't, well, then we can cut this Me Too, believe all women crap away forever. But in the meantime, believe all women. I believe them. I don't care what proof or nothing, may not even be proof. And actually there is. But believe them anyway, because they're women and you're a man. Men don't mean nothing. Men don't mean nothing. So don't talk to me about, oh, let the process do its work. No, that's Trump talk. That's MAGA talk. That's Republican talk. That's conservative Fox News, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, Brian Kilmeade, what's that one name? Jesse Waters. That's Fox News talk. But let the process take us. You talking like a Trump boy. You talking about believer? No, that's not what you taught me, Cuomo. That's not what you taught me. I gotta believe all women, so I don't believe you. Shut your mouth. Let's continue with this quote.
Opportunity for a full and fair review before a judge and a jury.
No,
because this just did not happen.
I believe it did.
Other complainants raised against me questions that have sought to unfairly characterize and weaponize everyday interactions that I've had with any number of New Yorkers. The New York Times published a front page picture of me touching a woman's face at a wedding and then kissing her on the cheek. That is not front page news. I've been making the same gesture in public all my life. I actually learned it from my mother and from my father.
What is this? What is this? Hang on.
From my mother
Are you kissing your mama on the lips? What is this? Man, what is this? It looks like that's what you're doing. I mean, it looks like you're going straight for her mouth. My gosh, man, these people are something else, man.
And from my father.
Mm.
It is meant to convey warmth, nothing more.
Oh, your
Indeed, there
family's
are
a creepy family.
hundreds, if not thousands, of photos of me using the exact same gesture. I do it with everyone, black and white, young and old, straight and LGBTQ, powerful people.
What is that Al Gore?
Powerful people.
What is this? What is this? Poor Bill, man. What is that, Bill Clinton? Man, poor Bill. Poor Bill. Bill get dragged into all this mess. That one with Al Gore. Oh my! What is this? It's like that's Al Gore, you know. No, but let me tell you something. You and Bill Clinton and Al Gore and Charles Rangel and whoever else you had in those pictures, they may all be a bunch of freaks like you. But I'll tell you something, you do that with me, I'll rip your mouth off. You say you do that with everybody, it conveys warmth. You come kiss me, I'll cut your eyes out with my 2 fingers. I'll rip your eyes out and I'll tear out your lips too and tear out your tongue as well. You ain't coming at me kissing me. Al Gore may be a freak. Bill Clinton may be a freak. This whoever this guy is,
BTQ,
all these guys, this
powerful
may be
people.
a freak. All these people may be freaks. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You can do that with these people. You can do that with Bill. You can do that with Charles. You can do that with Al. You can do that with this guy. You can do that with this guy and this guy. But you do that with me. So the law states that if you touch or do something to someone's physical person without with them not liking it, then it is assault. So maybe Bill and Al and all those people may be freaks, but all those 11 accusers are clearly not. And you say you learned this from your mom and dad. Well, your mom and dad are a bunch of freaks too. Now get angry with that, Andrew. Get angry with that. Your daddy, Mario Cuomo, a freak. Your mama's a freak too. Your mama, Andrew, a freak. Well, come do something now.
After the event, the woman told the press that she took offense at the gesture. And for that, I apologize. Another woman stated that I kissed her on the forehead at our Christmas party and that I said, "Ciao, Bella." Now, I don't remember doing it, but I'm sure that I did. I do kiss people on the forehead. I do kiss people on the cheek. I do kiss people on the hand. I do embrace people. I do hug people.
What's this with all these black folk that he's kissing? Look at all these black people he's kissing, man. I've never known black folk to I mean, my gosh, man, where do you find all these black folk that let him kiss like this?
I do slip and say sweetheart or darling or honey. I do banter with people. I do tell jokes, some better than others. I am the same person in public as I am in private. You have seen me do it on TV through all my briefings and for 40 years before that. I try to put people at ease. I try to make them smile. I try to connect with them. And I try to show my appreciation and my friendship. I now understand that there are generational or cultural perspectives that frankly I hadn't fully appreciated. And I have learned from this. Now, the state already has an advanced sexual harassment training program for all employees, including me. But I want New York State government to be a model of office behavior. And I've brought in an expert to design a new sexual harassment policy and procedures, and to train the whole team, myself included. I accept responsibility, and we are making changes. Other complaints relate to the work environment. Now, I have always said my office is a demanding place to work, and that it is not for everyone. We work really, really hard. My office is no typical 9-to-5 government office, and I don't want it to be. The stakes we deal with are very high, sometimes even life and death. We have to get the job done. I promised you that I would, and I will. But now, a number of complaints target female managers, which smacks to me of a double standard. First, when have you ever seen male managers maligned and villainized for working long hours or holding people accountable or for being tough?
You, Andrew, you've been vilified. You've been accused of being nasty with your employees and all this stuff. You're a man. I mean, I hope you're a man. I mean, I don't know. I know you're a liberal in 2021, so maybe you don't roll that way. But I mean, you've been accused, hasn't he? He's been accused of having a toxic work environment. Now he wants to change the subject and talk about women bosses. Shut your mouth, boy. What do you think? You're trying to change the subject on your misconduct and all this stuff. When are you gonna talk about all them nursing home deaths and all that stuff, and you trying to cover it up? You don't care about this virus. You don't think it's a big deal. No, I don't blame you. Listen, I'm just gonna say it right now. I don't blame him for putting elderly people in the same there, because I don't take this virus seriously. It's a virus that kills less than 1% of people who get it. Sweden, Japan, they don't have any precautions. Well, Japan now they do. Sweden, they don't have any precautions against this virus. If you're in Sweden, you got the virus, you go in the same nursing home as everybody else. And their numbers are actually even more down. So don't talk. No. And now you want to come change the subject, talk about female employees being targeted for being sexist. I know that's where you're going. I know these liberals. I know they're talking about. You've been accused of it, and you're a man. So stop that lie. Everybody who has a bad attitude or something in the workplace as a boss gets called out. You stop that lie. Talk about, oh, these poor women managers. Oh.
A strong male manager is respected and rewarded. But a strong female manager is ridiculed and stereotyped. It is a double standard. It is sexist, and it must be challenged. Also, remember where we are. Today, we are living in a superheated, if not toxic, political environment. That shouldn't be lost on anyone. Politics and bias are interwoven throughout every aspect of this situation. One would be naive to think otherwise, and New Yorkers are not naive. I understand these dynamics.
Yeah, they are.
My father used to say,
you.
God rest his soul, that politics is an ugly business.
I don't know who's more naive, New Yorkers or Canucks.
As usual, he was right. But for my father and for me, it's worth it. Because despite it all, at the end of the day, we get good things done for people. And that is what really matters. And for those who are using this moment to score political points or seek publicity or personal gain, I say they actually discredit the legitimate sexual harassment victims that the law was designed to protect.
Well, here, let me pause right there. If this was normal circumstances, I would agree with that. I'd say yay and amen, and boom, shakalaka goes right there. Hit that right there, Brother Cuomo. I would say that. But because you did the same thing to Brett Kavanaugh, I don't say that. So you stop your hypocrisy. Shut up.
My last point is this.
2 more
I
minutes.
say to my daughters all the time that as complicated as life gets is as simple as life is. My job is not about me. My job is about you. What matters to me at the end of the day is getting the most done I can for you. And that is what I do every day. And I will not be distracted from that job. We have a lot to do. We still have to manage the COVID beast. It is not dead yet. It's not over. We then have to reopen and reimagine our.
No, it's not serious. The virus isn't serious, and you don't think it's serious either. Otherwise, you wouldn't put people with coronavirus in the same nursing home as people without coronavirus. So you stop all this, man.
Date, because our future is going to be what we make it. I know we can do these things because I know the strength and the character of New Yorkers. Look at the progress we made on COVID. It is amazing. We went from the highest infection rate in the country to one of the lowest infection rates in the country. Nobody thought that we could do it, but New Yorkers did it. That shows that there's nothing that we can't do when we work together. Together as one community, as one family, as New Yorkers. We will. Thank you.
All right, shut up, Andrew, you fool. All right, so he's shut. Okay, so yeah, that's there. So anyway, that's it. I don't think he should resign. Let him stay there. Let's expose the hypocrisy of the left. They'll vote him in. I know. But anyway, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to this video. Also, please subscribe to me on Bitchute. Forget about YouTube. YouTube is going down the drain faster than diarrhea in the toilet. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Subscribe to me on Bitchute. If you don't have a Bitchute account, then get one. Otherwise, you'll never see me again when YouTube gets rid of me. All my subscribers, they're being shadow banned. My subscribers are being taken from me, and they're having their YouTube channels taken away. So forget about it. This will be on YouTube, but I'm going to post it on Bitchute first. So subscribe to me on Bitchute. The link is in the description. And share this video. If you got a couple of bucks, donate to me. If not, that's okay. But I really just want you to subscribe to me on Bitchute. Share this video. Like this video to beat the YouTube algorithms, even though I'm slowly giving up on YouTube. And this is